Everyone, and welcome to the second day of the second part of yoga philosophy. So we did on day one yesterday, we completed the asanas, which is the yoga postures. And today it's the fourth limb, which is called pranayama. First, in order to know what is pranayama, we'll have to understand what prana is. The prana. So we are going to take some time to understand the word prana. Okay. Now, in order to understand prana, we have to understand many things about the universe and the energies of the universe. Now, our universe is made up of only two elements. One is prana and the other one is Akash. And Akash means space, or we can also say ether. Akash is one of the five elements, right? We have fire, we have air, then we have space, and we have earth and water. Those are the five elements. This entire universe is made up of. All the material things are made up of the five elements. And Akash or space is one of them. Okay. But Akash is the highest of all because all other elements have followed this element. So this comes first and the rest come later. So the entire universe, what is visible to us and what is not visible to us, is made up of two elements only, two things or two elements. One is prana and one is akash. Now, even this akash comes from prana. So prana is the highest of all. Okay. The first element or thing to be able to form the universe was this prana. Pervading energies in this universe have only one name, prana. They have been named in different with different titles, with different names by man, but energy is energy, and it is prana, right? And akash is all encompassing material element of the universe. If there is one material element that we have to talk about, it is Akash, space. And if there is one energy that is the mother of all energies in this universe, that is Prana. Okay? And this material element is also a product of prana. It comes from prana. So this came first, and then it created this, and this created the rest of the four elements. Now comes prana. In order to understand pranayama, it's very important that we understand this. Prana, the finest and the most subtle energy that is present in the universe is called prana. It is all pervading, like I earlier mentioned. It is the finest and the most subtle. Okay? Subtle means it cannot be seen easily, but it could be experienced. Now, second, that's the first, how we understand prana. Now, the sum total of all energies that you see around you, the sum total of all energies is known to man in this world, in this universe, is prana. Okay. Now, what are the energies we see around us? The first and the foremost that we have all learned about is gravitation, right? The force of gravitation, it is a form of energy. then we have heat, then we have electricity, then we have magnetism, right? These are all different forms of energies, right? And then we have thoughts. Thoughts, thought is a form of energy too, because it creates ripples in the universe, it creates vibrations in the universe. So it is a form of energy too. So all these energies are coming from this one force, one vital force, which is the most subtlest of all, which is called prana. Okay. And now it is due to this energy that a man can walk, a man can talk, a man can think. Thoughts is also energy, right? It is all happening because of prana, right? So, prana and breath. Breath is just the atmospheric air. Understand? So, I'll write prana here and I write breath here. Okay. Now, we are going to see what they mean. So, when we practice pranayama the next time, we are aware of the difference. Okay. Breath is called the red and the green. The breath is called shwas in Sanskrit. And prashwas. Shwas is inspiration that we breathe in, inhale. Prashwas is expiration, the air that we are breathing out. And when we say breath, it is the air in the atmosphere or atmospheric air, as we call it. Okay? Right? Now, if we want to understand prana, we will have to understand breath and nothing else. Breath is the closest and the most visible manifestation of prana. If you want to understand prana, you will have to understand breath. If you want to control prana, you will have to control the breath. Breath is the vehicle on which prana rides in human body. Okay? So the best way to understand prana is through the breath only, because it is the most visible manifestation, most obvious manifestation of prana, the closest and the most obvious manifestation, most expression, if I can make you understand that way, is of prana. Okay? That is the difference between breath and prana. And prana, we have already known so far, it is the vital energy or cosmic energy of the universe. So this is energy, and this is the vehicle of this energy, through which this energy is being carried in and out of the body. Now, prana is the vital link. If another form of understanding will be, it is the vital link between psyche and soma. It must be a new word terms for you. These must be new terms for you, and we are going to understand these. It's a vital link between psyche and soma. Psyche is the mental level or the soul level in this universe, and soma is the material level. The external, superficial, material level is called soma. SOMA and psyche we use many times in our languages, Psyche is the mental level or the spiritual level or the soul level of this universe. Now, the soul and the material world held together through prana, through the vital energy. Everyone, pranayam. Now, pranayam, we are going to segregate this into three. We have prana first, and then we have pra and na in prana. Pra means the first unit. The first means something that came first. Na means energy. The first energy that erupted in this universe is prana. And then we come to yama. Yama means to restrain. It is a kind of restraint. Or somewhere it is also written as expansion or manifestation, but restraint is a closer word. Now, if we want to understand pranayama, the restraining of the subtle energy or the first energy of the universe. And how can we restrain it? Where can we find prana in us?
Breath.
Breath. So regulation of breath will regulate the prana. And that practice through which we regulate the prana or we control the prana is called pranayama. The entire practice is called pranayama. That is the meaning of pranayama. Now, according to yoga traditions, according to the philosophy of yoga, and according to the pranayama traditions or philosophy, if the flow of prana is imbalanced in the body, that is the cause of diseases in human body. So to understand disease is somewhere the prana is imbalanced or malfunctioning. That is a simple way to understand why am I feeling certain pain or why something in the body is happening. So if we are mindful, if we are conscious of this, then most of the disease can be taken care of through pranayama. That's why it is a very powerful practice if it is done mindfully. There is a term that they use in pranayama which is called bhav. This is a Sanskrit word, and bhav means full dedication, with full emotion, with full dedication. This is a very important element of pranayama practice. So when we practice the next time, or you attend any yoga class, when we are taking a breath in, remember if your mindfulness is not connected to that breath, it is a simple oxygen that you are breathing in and out. It is just the exercise of the nose if you are closing one side and the other side. You are just troubling the nose by closing and opening. But if that bhav, like I said, is there, that element of bhav is there with you, then you are breathing in the vital force of universe along with the breath. And that is what is going to make a difference in your practice. Okay? Counting doesn't matter. Length of time doesn't matter. The duration of your practice doesn't matter. But with what mindset you are practicing matters. That we understood what pranayama is, we are going to understand the practice of pranayama. Okay, so practice. Why should we practice pranayama? What is the reason for us to practice pranayama? Yes, it is a vital force. It is the first energy of universe. So what? What reason does it give us to practice it? Now, the aim. Let's start with the aim of pranayama first. What is the aim of pranayama? The aim of pranayama is to control the prana, which is the aim of pranayama practice, to control the prana through regulation of the breath. Okay. And now, why should we practice? That's the aim of pranayama. And then why? Why should we practice? Because we need abundant supply of prana for us to survive. Because if we want to survive, we need to be healthy, we need to be energetic. And both are coming from prana. That's the reason for us, that's enough reason for us to practice pranayama, right? Now, prana increase, if we increase the prana in the body through practice, it is going to increase um, the level of spiritual energy in the body. So, spiritual evolution can happen through pranayama. Constant practice of pranayama can lead to a person's spiritual evolution. And spiritual evolution is happening because the prana is flowing unhindered in that person's physical body and it is in abundance. That's the reason. Because prana is the subtle vital energy of the universe, the primary unit. And if you have that primary powerful energy in you in abundance, you can imagine the health and the vitality the body might experience due to that. That's the reason why we should be practicing pranayama. Now, this spiritual evolution can happen through pranayama practice and through yogic lifestyle. There are different ways we can work with prana and what should we do with this prana? One, we can conserve it. We can make efforts to conserve this prana. Now, how does conservation takes place? We can learn how not to waste it through worry, through fear, through unnecessary activities, unnecessary conversations, and unnecessary thinking, right? Conversation is also energy, thinking is also energy. So we are wasting prana in unnecessary activities. Activities is also energy. So prana gets wasted. Wherever there is useless and purposeless activity, conversations, or thinking, we are wasting prana. So to conserve prana, this is one way. We should avoid such. And then indulgence, or I should say overindulgence. Overindulgence in sensual pleasures or using your sense organs in a random way. It could be anything, eyes, nose, mouth. We talk through the mouth. So that comes back to purposeless conversations, right? So this is how we can conserve prana. Then we can balance prana. How can we balance prana? Conservation is one way to balance prana. Once we begin to conserve by not wasting it, it comes into a certain form, level of balance, and then not moving into extremes, extreme lifestyle, extreme of everything. So if we avoid extreme, it is going to get balanced. Okay, that is the way we can balance it. So one is we can conserve it, then we can balance it, then we can channelize it. Channelize it for our purpose, for our use. And how do we channelize it? By We can channelize it for positive goals in life, for selfless actions. Once we have conserved it, we have balanced it. Now we are going to channelize that energy into for selfless actions, for positive goals in life, and maybe for chanting, for any divine purpose. We can purify it. Now, anything that is pure becomes powerful. Whatever is pure in its purest form is always powerful. We lose power with impurity, whatever kind it could be. It could be a mental impurity, it could be through actions, it could be through words, right? So we can purify it by, um, again, conservation, balancing, and channelizing for better purpose. Once it goes through all those steps, the prana will purify. Now, all these steps, if we are mindful, is called sadhana. This is again a Sanskrit word. Sadhana is the practice of being mindful of and practicing this in your daily life. Conservation, balancing, purifying of prana. Practicing pranayama is a kind of sadhana. Sadhana means a disciplined practice. Little chit chat. So, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and for attending this session today. We will see you again tomorrow.